Ever dealt with a toxic person and didn't know how to handle it? You're not alone. We've all encountered those energy vampires who seem to thrive on drama and negativity. Handling such individuals can feel like navigating a minefield. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Just imagine, if dealing with toxic people were an Olympic sport, by the end of this video, you'd be going for gold. So buckle up, because today, we'll explore 15 clever ways to handle these difficult individuals. First, let's understand what we mean by toxic people. Picture someone who's a bit like the human equivalent of a black hole, sucking all the positivity and energy from those around them. These individuals are often characterized by their negative attitudes, their ability to manipulate others, and their knack for making you feel like you're walking on eggshells. They can be friends, family, or even colleagues, and their toxicity can have a profound impact on our well-being. Now imagine this. You're at a party, and there's this person who's constantly complaining about the music, the food, the decor, even the air. It's like they brought their own personal rain cloud to the event. No matter how much you try to uplift the atmosphere, they're just there, raining on everyone's parade. Now that we know what we're dealing with, let's dive into the ways to handle them. Starting with the first 3 ways to tackle toxicity. Firstly, let's talk about the power of boundaries. Imagine you're living in a castle. Now, would you let just anyone barge in? Absolutely not. You'd have a moat, a drawbridge, maybe even a dragon if you're feeling a bit extra. That's what boundaries are like. They're your castle's defenses against the toxic invaders. So start by setting clear limits with toxic individuals, deciding what you will and won't tolerate. Secondly, practice the art of detachment. Picture yourself as a duck. When water lands on a duck's back, it just rolls off. Be like the duck. When someone throws their toxic negativity your way, let it roll off your back. Don't absorb it. Don't let it ruffle your feathers. Just quack on. Thirdly, it's all about self-care. Remember, you're a garden, not a dumping ground. So don't allow toxic people to dump their negativity on you. Instead, water your own plants, nourish your inner landscape, engage in activities that bring you joy and peace. In essence, it's about building those castle walls, channeling your inner duck, and tending to your own garden. These initial steps set the foundation for handling toxicity. Moving on to our next set of strategies. Fourth on our list is the art of constructive confrontation. Now, confrontation might sound a bit daunting, but it's not about picking a fight. It's about expressing how you feel when someone's behavior is affecting you negatively. Remember, it's important to focus on their actions, not them as a person. For instance, instead of saying, "You're always so negative," try, "When you say things like that, it makes me feel uncomfortable." Our fifth strategy is called detachment. Sometimes it's best to emotionally disconnect from a toxic person. This doesn't mean you have to be cold or rude. It's about protecting your emotional well-being by not letting their negativity affect you. Imagine yourself enclosed in a bubble where their negative energy can't reach you. You're in control of your emotions, not them. Last but not least, the sixth strategy is seeking support. It's okay to ask for help when dealing with toxic people. You don't have to navigate this challenging path alone. Reach out to trusted friends, family, or even professional counselors. Sharing your experiences can provide a fresh perspective and practical advice. So, there you have it. Constructive confrontation, detachment, and seeking support. 3 more tools for your toolbox to better manage toxic individuals. Remember, it's not about changing them. It's about changing how you react to them. With these strategies, you're well on your way to better managing toxic individuals. Ready for more? Here are ways 7 to 9. Way number 7 is practicing assertiveness. The power of saying no cannot be overstated. It's about setting boundaries and not letting toxic individuals cross them. For instance, if someone is constantly demanding your time and energy, it's okay to say, "I'm sorry, but I can't do this right now." Assertiveness is not aggression. It's about standing your ground respectfully and politely. Moving on to the 8th way, seek support. We all need a little help sometimes, and that's perfectly fine. If you're dealing with a toxic person, don't hesitate to reach out to friends, family, or even professionals. It can be incredibly helpful to get an external perspective and advice. Remember, you're not alone in this. And finally, our 9th way to deal with toxic people, focus on self-care. In the face of toxicity, it's easy to forget about your own needs. But taking time to relax, do things you enjoy, and nurture your mental and physical health can work wonders. It's like putting on your oxygen mask before helping others on a plummeting plane. You can't pour from an empty cup, can you? These 3 ways are about empowering yourself. They're not just about dealing with toxic people, but they're also about fostering self-respect and care. These methods can be especially helpful in more challenging situations. Now, let's tackle some advanced strategies. Firstly, we have the polite pivot. This is a smooth move for when a toxic person is trying to pull you into their drama. Instead of getting entangled, you pivot the conversation to something less contentious. Imagine your toxic cousin is trying to stir up family drama at a gathering. You could say, "That's interesting, but have you seen Aunt May's new puppy? It's adorable." A polite pivot can deflate the drama balloon swiftly and effectively. Secondly, we have the fogging technique. This strategy involves agreeing with any truth in the toxic person's statement, no matter how small. For example, if your toxic boss says, "You're always late," instead of getting defensive, you could say, "You're right, I was late this morning." By not arguing, you remove the fuel from their fire. The key here is to remain calm and composed. Lastly, we have selective ignorance. This is the art of choosing to ignore the negativity. Imagine a toxic friend makes a snide comment about your outfit. Instead of feeling hurt or retaliating, you simply decide not to acknowledge it. By doing this, you take away the power they have over your emotions. These advanced tactics can give you an edge against persistent toxicity. Remember, dealing with toxic people is less about winning battles and more about preserving your peace. Stay tuned for the final ways to deal with toxic people. They're going to be game changers. Finally, our last set of strategies. 13th, we have embrace positivity. Remember, you can't control others, but you can control how you react. When faced with negativity, counteract it with a positive mindset. It's like a protective shield, deflecting toxic vibes. Coming up at number 14 is set boundaries. This one's a game changer. It's essential to establish what you will and won't tolerate. Your time, energy, and peace of mind are valuable. Protect them fiercely. And last but certainly not least, seek support. Don't underestimate the power of a strong support system. Friends, family, or even professional help can provide the perspective and strength you need to navigate the choppy waters of dealing with toxic individuals. With these last strategies, you're well equipped to handle any toxic situation that comes your way. Remember, you're stronger than you think, and you've got this. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. We've journeyed through 15 clever ways to deal with toxic people, from understanding their toxicity, setting boundaries, to maintaining our own emotional health. Each strategy, be it humor, empathy, or simply walking away, is a tool in your self-esteem toolbox. Remember, dealing with toxic people is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. So keep these strategies in mind, and you'll be well on your way to a more peaceful and positive life.